Do you have a favorite poker moment or any great stories of people you've been around, people you met?
Again, poker for me, so just looking off the top of my head, some of literally the closest friends in my life I met playing poker. Michael Phelps, right? 2006, he went to University of Michigan. I'm from Ann Arbor, Michigan, but it was like I was home for college for the summer, and I met him playing poker just in the summer. And then it turned out we became very close. And next thing you know, I lived with him 2008 till 15. I got to went to El Dorado with him. I've met so many of my closest friends and relationships I've had for 10 plus years through being there, right? So it's like, Bill Perkins as well, one of my closest friends, met him through poker. Antonio Esfandiari, who you guys got to have on. He lives around here, and he's an amazing guy, magician as well, won the biggest tournament ever, like literally one of my best friends, and met him through poker. So it's like, I look around in my life and it's like either directly or tangentially through poker, I've gotten some of the most interesting and unique relationships that have happened. I forgot, what was the question specifically? Because I get fired up.
Favorite poker moment?
Favorite poker. So favorite poker moment. Man, probably. There's so many like fun stories or cash games or unique places in the world, but I think probably the most like impactful was when I went to Montreal Playground Poker, and Antonio got like a deal there. This is 2012. They tell him like, hey, come in, you can fly in, you can bring some friends, pay for everything, flights, hotel, buy-in, $3,500 buy-in tournament. It's supposed to be like 300 or 400 player tournament. They had built this extra room there. I had been there once before, and it was just like I don't know, like a card room with 10 tables. But then they basically opened like a Costco in the back, like size room with all these tables, and they did a World Poker Tour. So it was like 1,172 people, and I ended up getting third for like $320,000. They gave me the buy-in for free. I was like, 10 years, it was like 25, 26. It was like a significant score for my personal bankroll. Cause like when I play some high stakes cash games or tournaments, generally I have like people that buy action or I'm staked, right? So like for me, for a 3K buy-in, like I had my entire action, and winning 300 grand was like a significant bankroll uptick, right? For where I was at. Yeah. So that was like, that was crazy. And that was a wild memory. It was like 900 to first or 800,000 to first. And I took a sick beat. I was like 93% on the flop, 92.4%. And I got beat. So I would have knocked the guy out and bet heads up for like a really big pay jump, but still it was like third place, final table, World Poker Tour. It was like that was a marquee moment for me for sure.
Incredible.
321,000 on
roughly. I'd three something.
And like third place in a gigantic tournament. Yeah. That's so.
And honestly, so like I like I said, it doesn't necessarily define you, but I have it's a little bit it hurts me because I've gotten a second in a World Series of Poker bracelet. Got it in with the ace jack to king 10. Literally, like he had 13 blinds. I had 11. It was like we were playing till 2 a.m. on the third day. They were about to stop and pause the next day. I get it in good. Slight favorite, whatever, 60-40 or something, basically to win. Don't win. This one in Montreal, I get in pocket fours, the king 10 off. It comes jack 8-4. So I have a set of fours. Like I really can't lose. It's hard to lose. Like he has king 10 high. He can't even hit king. He has to hit like a running straight or running flush, and he did. It was a queen of hearts, ace of hearts. Like, so I get third, right? Wow. And then there's another, the 100K Alpha 8. It was my largest score. I think I got 414,000. I got same thing. Got it in with two pair versus the guy's flush draw. Would have knocked him out, been chip leader heads up. Guy hits the flush on the turn. That's like televised WPT Alpha 8. So I get third for like 414. And I have a lot of these like second and thirds. The Premier League, same thing. 125K buy-ins. Like, all the biggest names they invite, 12 person one, I get second. So like I have so many seconds and thirds, and like it's not, I can be honest, listen, I'm not the best poker player in the world, but still like at some point when you get deep and you're there, like it hurts when you like, it's like coin flips or close spots. You actually have the best hand, you lose. So
even though you're making a ton of cash, it's like,
well, you want that trophy, that like real like signature win, it's just, but it's, it is what it is. And like, honestly, looking back now too, I realize how good the best really are. And like the truth is, like I think I'm a good poker player, but it's like I realize these guys like Jungle Man or whatever, I can name 100 names. These guys that are like winning everything, like they're really, really, really good. Like I feel like I'm good, but like I know they're better than me. So like in a way, I'm kind of like, man, maybe I don't deserve it. I could have worked harder to win it. But then I'm also like, man, a bunch of times, second and thirds, like it's not like I'm just out, it's an arm wrestling or something. The guy's just better than me. It's like, all right, like we're talking about sick hands and percentages where like the math is the math and like the money's all in. And it's like, so whatever. But I mean, look, I've won tournaments, but I don't have that mark, that stamp, like major big one, like that I can just like show my kids when I grow up, like, yeah, okay, I won some stuff and I did okay. But like, I want to have that, you know, I'm still playing, I'm around.
Dude, you're still very young too.
I don't play as much as I used to, but I will get a bracelet. I mean, I want to win. I want to go for it. And I gotta, you know, I know what to do. So I'm gonna dive back in and make a big push on it.
Can we do another episode when you get your bracelet?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll happen.
absolutely.
We're keeping your word on that.
Yeah, for sure. You guys might have them before me. It happens. You know, it's like a hole in one. You know, guys that not very good at golf have like 8 hole in ones, and I got my boy like Silverman just got his first. Phelps just got his first. They play a lot.
Congrats!
And actually, at El Dorado.
And Phelps, dude. Hell yeah.
And but you know how it goes. Awesome. It doesn't mean that's what I'm saying. Doesn't mean they're a better golfer than you. But do you have a hole in one?
I don't, man. And I'm like. I've gotten like 3 or 4 where literally resting against the flag.
Yeah.
Like,
oh man.
Yeah. That's the kind of stuff in the universe I don't understand, right? It really is like a fascinating. This is another podcast, like talk about simulations and stuff. But there's certain things that just like I don't fully understand, like why certain things just happen, or you know, a split blink. But again, we're all pretty lucky, right? We're alive. Anyone's listening, we're here. You know. And it's everything, you know what I mean? So it's all, poker teaches you perspective as well with variance, because it's so easy to think I'm unlucky, or like, why did I not get this job? Why did this thing happen? But really, you know, it's all one big sort of game, right? Variance of life. Like, you know, you pull out, like, could get an offender bender today, like something like still as small as that, like where, you know, this, but and then it's like, oh, well, you know, I didn't win this hand, or this didn't happen at the Super Bowl, you know, like looking at this, like the Eagles or the call, like little things. Like, again, I think it's just a lot about the lessons and learnings and understanding that, that's I think the most impactful thing is it's not about what happens, it's how you react. That's one of the best things.
I did a podcast the other day with a friend of mine, and I literally said the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Because I believe it wholeheartedly. You know, it's you can react one way and it could ruin your entire day, everyone else's day around you, or you can react the opposite of that, and it, you know, everything's kosher, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
And it can dictate, you know, your entire life.
Yeah.
And if you're making that kind of dough and like you're out there doing it as a profession, and like, I mean, that's still light years ahead of like where Brock or I would be if we just started trying to like make a living by playing poker.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's so much different being on that, like golf kind of too. Like the difference of a pro and someone like me in golf is light years ahead.
Right.
Same with poker.
Yeah.
You know, so it is. Even, I guess there's like levels even at the top, but like those top levels are just light years ahead of where I would be.
Yeah.
Right.
And to that point too, though, I mean, somebody who is light years behind can have more fun than the people that are on the top, you know? So it's just about kind of how you show up and have fun.
Or get lucky. Or
exactly. Get lucky or, you know, whatever it may be. Like I'm getting those clubs, golf clubs soon. So
well,
I'm coming for that hole in one.
It's important. It's important to enjoy the process. Most importantly, right? Like you guys, you know, they got the Kane, the comic, what you guys are doing, like that, like whether that becomes the next Marvel or if it just becomes like whatever, right? It's like you love it, you enjoy it, you're doing it, and that's like the fun of it. Like if it hits, it's like that's cool, like that's great, made some money or whatever. But that I think is like if you enjoy what you do, it's cliche, but it's like if you do love it, like that's worth so much, because there's so often, you know, I think we get caught in doing things that we don't want to do, saying yes to something you don't want to do. You know, whether it's, you know, like whatever, it could be big scale or small scale. So I think that if you're able to find a way to do that and do something you love, that's worth way more than really anything, you know.
Thank you for watching Studio 22.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And follow our socials at Studio 22 Podcast.